Before the sun rose, Eleanor woke up in silence. Her life was simple, but her heart carried heavy responsibilities. For her son, she was not just a mother, she was home. At night, while he slept peacefully, her prayers stayed awake. This is the story of a mother and a love that never let go. Every morning, before the world woke up, she sat quietly, preparing herself for another day. She cooked simple meals, but every bite carried love, patience, and sacrifice. To her son, she gave the best part of everything, even when she had little. At night, while he slept peacefully, her prayers stayed awake. She walked in silence, carrying her pain quietly, never asking life why it chose to be so unforgiving. She was a single mother, working tirelessly to give her child a better life, forgetting her own pain along the way. When Daniel watched the children at school playing with different toys, he realized there was a difference between them and him. One day, Daniel finally asked the question he had been holding inside for years. He looked at his mother and said softly, "Mom, why is our life so different from everyone else's? Why do other children have more and we don't?" Eleanor paused. She smiled gently, even though her heart quietly broke. Eleanor smiled gently, hiding pain only a mother can hide. In winter, she wrapped Daniel in warmth and kept the cold for herself. She prayed for her son Daniel and asked God only for him, believing that a mother's prayer is heard very closely by God. She always gave more food to her son and lied to him, saying she wasn't hungry. She felt a quiet joy watching her son Daniel study, holding on to the belief that education would one day change his life and lift him beyond their struggles. When the opportunity finally arrived, it came in the form of a scholarship letter. Daniel had been selected to study at a university far away, a chance to build a better future, a life beyond poverty. Eleanor felt pride rise in her heart. Her son's dreams were becoming real. But alongside that pride, fear quietly followed. Fear of distance, fear of loneliness, and fear of a home that would soon fall silent. She packed his clothes slowly, folding each piece with care, as if touching his future one last time. In her heart, she wished time could pause, just a little longer. The hug lasted only a few moments, but the emptiness it left behind lasted for years. She stood there long after the bus had disappeared, as if her heart was still trying to follow it. The house sank into silence, but a mother's love kept echoing in every corner. She began writing her feelings in her diary. "I miss you, my son. Without you, this house feels empty." As Daniel's world grew bigger, he slowly began losing touch with his mother. Sometimes, Daniel began ignoring his mother's calls, telling himself he was busy, while his mother comforted herself by believing her son was happy. Eleanor's body grew weaker, but her love never did. One day, while working, she suddenly felt dizzy and collapsed. Even on the hospital bed, with weakness in her body and pain in her chest, Eleanor worried only about Daniel, whether he was eating well, whether he was resting, and whether he remembered to call home. Eleanor said only this to the doctor: "I don't have much time. Please, just call my son. Maybe before I go, I want to spend a little time with him." And Eleanor began writing something on a piece of paper, maybe her final message for her son. When Daniel received the call from the hospital, it felt as if time had stopped, as though he was blaming himself. Daniel sat on the train, returning to his mother. With every passing mile, he carried regret in his heart. Daniel rushed to the hospital and searched for his mother like a madman, desperate and broken. At last, Daniel reached his mother, held her hand in his, and said, "Mother, I had forgotten you in the colors of the world, but nowhere is there peace like in your embrace." Eleanor spoke as if she were telling her son, "You are my peace. I have no complaints against you. I only wanted to spend my final moments with you. You are the most beautiful part of my existence. May God always keep you safe." That was Eleanor and Daniel's last meeting. Then she went to a place from which there is no return. Daniel returned to the quiet house where every corner still carried memories of his childhood with his mother. The walls seemed to whisper her presence, and the silence felt heavier than ever. There, among old belongings, he found her diary, page after page filled with her love, her prayers, and her sacrifices, all written only for her son. As Daniel read her words, his hands began to tremble and his tears fell freely. It felt as if his heart was screaming, "Oh, time, please come back. I promise I will never leave my mother again." But time, once it slips away, never turns back. So if your mother is still alive, do not wait for tomorrow. Hold her hand today. Tell her she matters. Tell her, "Mom, you are priceless. I love you." Because one day, all that will remain are memories, and love left unspoken becomes the deepest regret. If this story touched your heart, please subscribe to our channel so we can continue sharing more emotional and meaningful stories with you.